Okay. Hello, Sophia. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you. Very happy it's Friday, which means we've got the weekend. So
Absolutely. So, wondering if you could just introduce yourself to our network. I'm filming this interview to give some, as you know, some fundraising tips to the people in our network to fundraise for their debt centres. So I'd love to hear, let them hear about who you are before we get going.
What's my name? Where do I come from?
Exactly.
So my name is Sophia Rapley. I am currently the Community and Events Fundraising Manager for PKD charity. It's a bit of a long-winded word, but that counts. That's polycystic kidney disease. So this is a hereditary condition that over time it could potentially get worse, or it could potentially stay the same. But ultimately, the worst outcome is going on dialysis and then being on the transplant list for a new kidney. We're a very small charity, but we have wonderful, engaged supporters that obviously want to continue to raise money for us so we can kind of continue the fantastic work we do. In a nutshell, we raise awareness, we fund research, and we also provide information. So that's kind of our key three things that we do. Alongside of that, I also decided to start my own freelancing consultancy during lockdown, mainly because I had a lot of time on my hands. And again, I was another fundraiser that was put on furlough. So that gave me the opportunity to start a new business. So I've got a lot of experience, I hope, and I'm here to give you all some advice on where you can do some virtual fundraising for your charity.
Yeah, brilliant. And you've been in fundraising for ages, haven't you?
Well, some would say so. I mean, I'm not going to tell you my age, but I'd say nearly 9 years now. But when I graduated at Edinburgh Uni, actually, sorry, Edinburgh and Aiken, not Edinburgh. There's two there. There's three. Yeah. That was the kind of first role I got into. I wanted to work for charity, and it sucked me in, and I can't get out. And here I am now. So
brilliant. Well, we will crack on. So the first thing I wanted to ask you was how you think the fundraising landscape, fundraising culture has changed since COVID.
Of course. Well, the biggest thing I've noticed is obviously when I have worked for charities, a lot of the income was raised through kind of hosting your big gala dinners and, doing the London Marathon, being around people that, you want to do something to show them and also do something that they can actually generate and give you money. So we've had to be really safe. We've had to do all our fundraising from home, and it's been a big change for us. So obviously not doing your face-to-face events, that's been a massive change. So it's been about trying to engage our supporters to still fundraise for us, but in a really safe way. So that's kind of been the biggest thing for me. But also making sure that as a charity, we've been there for our supporters. It's been a really tough time for everyone, not only personally, but for them too. So obviously we've had to adapt very strongly over the past year.
Yeah, definitely. And you think that's sort of just for you guys, or is that across the board?
That's across the board. Although I work for a small organisation, even the big charities out there, they've had to change their ways of working and ways they fundraise. For example, virtual fundraising, that's a huge thing right now. So the type of examples I can provide, so obviously doing your online pub quizzes. There's loads and loads of organisations out there that you can literally donate, for example, £5, join a virtual pub quiz and raise money in a safe environment. And it also will give you the opportunity to have that kind of socialisation with your friends as well, because you can always get them involved too. So they've been really, really popular. I think as well, do your own fundraising. So this is being able to do your own fundraising from home safely. And that could be anything. That could be potentially doing a bake sale. It could be doing a gardening competition, if that's something you're into, and showing your friends over Zoom or even by text message. It could be potentially doing a step challenge. So let's say 10,000 steps a day for 3 weeks. So this is great for you to not only keep fit and keep you sane, it's also a great way to raise money for your chosen charities as well. So there's the opportunities are endless. It's just, I guess, thinking outside of the norm that you've been used to and actually doing things a bit different.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to hear the craziest or weirdest do it yourself fundraising that you've heard? I'm sure you've heard of lots.
Well, this was in the summer, and as you can imagine, the weather was a lot better. I actually had someone phone me up, and he was like, I want to be old school. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, when I was younger, people used to always sit in bathtubs. I was like thinking, this is really odd. I was like, bathtubs or baked beans? I mean, I was like, okay. And I was like, how are you going to do this virtually? Zoom? Okay. How long are you going to stay in this bathtub? He was like, well, I'm going to be in there from 9 to 5. I was like, are you still working? He was like, yep, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be doing my Zoom meetings. I'm going to be speaking to my colleagues whilst in a tub of baked beans all day.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing.
I think he gained a lot of respect from his colleagues, and he also raised over £1,000. So I think you can be as crazy as possible if you like, or you can just stick to a standard bake sale. But I think that was literally been one of the most craziest things I've heard.
That is brilliant. The possibilities truly are endless.
Exactly. And I think as well, it's just so easy to set up a Just Giving page or an online donations page. So you don't have to worry about getting close to someone to get a donation. Just Giving is probably the one I would choose because per donation, the charity gets the most income. So it doesn't take any money away. So Just Giving would be my option.
Brilliant.
So yeah,
that's really helpful.
need to set up a Just Giving page.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. And then I guess the other question is, where do you see fundraising going now that we've been through all this or are still going through all this? Long past COVID, do you think what's going to happen?
I mean, in the real, I'd love for, this pandemic to be over, but I think we still have a little bit of time. We've got to still be a bit vigilant. So I'd say the way of fundraising, the way of charities have had to adapt. I feel like they're going to continue still to promote it because obviously it reduces costs. You don't have to, pay for charity places for these large events. There's no time constraints, so supporters can take part in any fundraising activity they'd like to do at any time. And I think as well, it's we've got to be conscious that there will be people out there that still is a bit concerned about COVID. So, and it's not just going to change overnight. So I do think the charity sector is going to kind of keep continuing virtual fundraising and do your own fundraising from home.
Yeah, definitely. Great. Any last top tips for fundraising?
I think for me, from a fundraiser's point of view, I think really try and be a bit creative with your fundraising and try to enjoy it. There's always going to be someone that will be, oh my God, that's a bit crazy. But actually, you do get a lot from taking part in something that you may not possibly do, like stepping out of your comfort zone. And just, if you're passionate for a cause, do something. I mean, the charity is there for a reason. Always feel free to pick up the phone and get in touch with someone. I think just continue, don't let COVID put you down. At the end of the day, you've got a wonderful organisation that still wants to do its fantastic work. So get on the phone to Abby, give her a call.
Amazing. Oh, well, thank you so much, Sophia. It was great catching up with you.
Thank you. It's lovely to meet you too, and good luck.
See you soon.